I'm Kelly Mitchell, and you're listening to Agent Caffeine, Fuel for the Real Estate Industry. We bring in the people who help make business better and deliver practical conversations to help you. Broadcasting from the beautiful area of San Francisco this year, and on with the show. Tonight, episode 212. Fear, Loathing, and MLS front-facing websites with Danny Frank. He's the VP of Coldwell Banker United. Agents and brokers alike have been startled to hear that MLSs are now doing their own Zillow-like websites known as front-facing MLS websites. Concerns about additional competition and a misunderstanding of what could potentially be co-opetition, which is good, needs further explanation, and we need to dig a little bit deeper to see what the goals and the methodologies are of doing these sites and how they may help the industry and or the consumers that are out there. We're going to find out from Danny Frank what the ultimate goals are for the MLS front-facing websites, how the Houston Association of Realtors plans on executing this, or have they already executed it, and what we can look forward to. And then also, addressing any concerns or questions, and really, when we have things like this that happen, in particular with data in the real estate industry, it seems that one of the biggest things is rumors and misconceptions, take hold, and then it spreads like wildfire. And so what we want to do today is we want to put down the fires, or put out the fires, get clear on what it really is, so we can talk clearly and well spoken about the issues that are truly out there. So I'd love to welcome Danny Frank to the show. Danny, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you. And I noticed that you guys. So Houston Association of Realtors, not a small association. Let's talk about the numbers there really quickly.
Well, we have right now we're almost 30,000 members.
Wow.
Yeah, we're growing. It's on an upward deal, and it's just a really cool association to be a part of. It's you think of the dynamics of 30,000 people, 30,000 members that are local members in the association. So we have a whole lot of things going on with different agents, and from soup to nuts, we have it all here in the greater Houston area.
Now, I'm just curious, with those kind of numbers, which are phenomenal, and kudos to you folks for having that level of an association. Can you tell me, do you folks experience the same kind of industry standards of finding that 10% of the agents are doing 90% of the business? Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of look at what's going on in the greater Houston market, and Pareto's principle is absolutely at work here in the greater Houston market. And that's one thing we do in Houston at HAR is we really try to get all agents engaged. That's one of our primary functions, is to have the realtor member be engaged in being profitable. We actually at HAR have a members profitability center. We teach agents how to make money. And that's the bottom line. If they're making money, we stay in business as an association and keep on moving and keep on growing.
So that sounds like a retention strategy as well, correct?
It is, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the elephant in the room, MLS front-facing websites. It sounds like a ZTR, or as other people may know it, as a Zillow, truly a Realtor.com situation. I could see people immediately going, oh my God, my association's going to compete against me. They're taking all my leads. They're using my data, blah, 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 blah. And, the same hideous conversation that we have ad nauseum about data and websites and,
Right.
So can you tell me the premise that that HAR came to the table with starting a front-facing MLS website? What were the goals?
Well, the number one goal is to sell real estate for our members. We want the consumer to be able to find the property. Kelly, what's really true about a front-facing MLS public website is the fact that no broker can compete against ZTR, right? There's not a single brokerage anywhere in the country that's in the top 25 or even the top 50 websites on the ComScore. So we kind of took that when we started, 15 years ago with HAR.com, when we really got started with this thing, and we took it and we said, all right, as a cooperative, we can compete, and we have. Spencer Raskoff a couple of years ago was at a conference, and Bob Hale was there, and Spencer got up and said, Zillow is the #1 website in 99 out of the top 100 cities all across the country. And Bob Hale stood up on the front thing and waved his hand and said, well, Spencer, what city are you not #1 in? And he said, in Houston, Bob. And he kind of bowed, and that's the truth. We own Texas when it comes to real estate eyeballs on any portal. We do better than Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com because we have what the consumers want. We give them the information they need, and we don't compete with the brokers. The brokers, they can't compete. A single brokerage just cannot do what we can do as an MLS, and that's the hard fact that most people don't understand.
How does it benefit the agents and brokers? Like, really, what do they get out of this? Having it go to a Zillow, for example, they get the opportunity to pay for visibility, right? And they pay dearly. What do they get when they go to
they don't pay another dime? The HAR dues for an agent are $134 a year.
Wow. That's a deal.
That's cheap, and we get all the tools from HAR that we have, and we can go through those tools as you want. But there's all kinds of different things we give, and we give all the leads back to the agents. Let's go back a little further. They go to the broker. If the broker allows the agents to have them, the agents get them at no additional charge. The broker, if they have a different model, they can charge their agents for those leads because in real estate all across the country, all leads are the brokers. They start there, right? But
right.
Most business models in Houston, the agent gets the lead directly.
So if it's my brokerage, my listings,
it's your lead.
It's my lead.
That's right, 100% of the time. We have click to call. The consumer can, right there, if they're looking at the public-facing portal, they can click one button, and they'll be contacted immediately to the agent's cell phone.
Have you had any backlash over the MLS front-facing website? And this is twofold. And how long have you been doing this?
I think the website, Kelly, has been up since 1984 is when we started that. I stand to be corrected on the date, but I think it was 1984, 1985. I think that's when it really got started. And there was some initial pushback, but all the large brokers here in the greater Houston area really understand that we're here to help them. And we do give those leads back to the agents, and they understand that. They make money. They don't, we don't charge an additional penny for those leads. If you go to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes Media, whatever it might be, they're going to charge you for those leads coming back, and we don't charge for those. That's where we succeed in making the agent profitable.
Fantastic. I'm noticing just a little something with your camera. It's going out, and then it's coming back in, and I'm going to get seasick in a minute.
Okay, so let's see if I can't stop that.
Okay, thank you.
Controls, can I?
And I'm going to roll right into the next question if you don't mind.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question I have is are you releasing data, or are the brokers still cooperating with the ZTRs of this world?
Right. Well, we were the first MLS in the country to sign up with ListHub, and now the thing with ListHub, they're not going to be feeding that with back to we have 88 more days until they stop feeding that back to Zillow at the time of this publication. So that's all going to change, but we have an agreement in place with Zillow to supply them with leads as well, or not with leads, but with data. And we control that, and we have an agreement both with ListHub and Zillow. So we really control all that data back for the agents.
So what kinds of things are the consumers getting on your site that they're not getting on Zillow? Well,
it's not a matter of what they're getting and what they're not getting. We're giving them what they want. Every site is dynamic and different. Zillow has some things that we don't have, and we have things they don't have. We have sold prices. They don't. You know, we in Texas is a non-disclosure state, so even on our website, we don't give specific sold pricing, but we don't feed that data back to Zillow. We don't give them any sold data whatsoever. And on our website, the consumer can go on there and look at a price range. And it's an algorithm how we came up with the price range. You know, on the lower prices, it's a little bit narrower, and on the million plus houses, the prices kind of goes and flows with different price ranges. So it's really a great opportunity. The consumer can understand what the price is valued at a house that just sold. They can't get the exact price until they come and meet with a realtor, though.
Got it. And from the standpoint, okay, so you folks are a cooperative. How does that work with the association and the MLS?
Well, HAR, the Houston Association of Realtors, owns the MLS. So, we don't have different members. The HRIS, the Houston Realtor Information System, is the wholly owned subsidiary of HAR. And so we run all that completely. It's the for-profit side. That's where we make all the money on the HRIS side of that. And the association, for a lot of different reasons, doesn't make any money. That's for the not-for-profit side. So we really strive to put all the tools and all the money-making things over on the MLS side, and not the association side.
Understood. And what kinds of things are you hearing out there when you go to because you've been involved on the board, and in fact you were the chairman of the board.
I was 2013 chairman of the board for HAR.
Absolutely. Oh, and I'm sure you attend a lot of the national meetings, the CMLS, where all the MLSs and associations get together and talk about what's next and best practices and all that fun stuff. What are you hearing from other MLSs and associations? Are they thinking of taking up a similar model?
Well, it's kind of funny. There's a couple of them out there that do have great public-facing websites, and they're really doing well. No one's really done what we're doing. We recently, one of my things that we really came up with about 3 years ago was come up with a statewide portal for all Texas realtors to come up to. They can put their listings into HAR for free, and they're advertised, because we are the #1 portal in all of Texas. So when a consumer comes to look for property in the state of Texas, they can come to har.com and they can find that. If you go to your website right now and type in har.com, or if you go to the App Store and download the app on the iPad, you would see that it would locate you in your city and try to find properties where you are. We do it. We're very highly technologically advanced. We have our own technology staff, and that's the biggest difference. We have I'll say 10 or 12 people that work in our technology staff full time. And that's all they do is work on the technology side of HAR and har.com. So we really strive to grow that and to understand what the consumer's needs are and what the broker's needs are. We try to bring those things together and marry them to be a happy family, because after all, the members, the brokers, are still our customers from an association standpoint. So it's vital that the consumers have the stuff that they want. But also, we have to remember what the broker wants, because they are, after all, our customers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so the next question I have, I kind of want to segue a little bit. I'd love to get your opinion, first of all, on what you think about this whole, and this is, we usually do really evergreen content, but it's the first episode of the year. You've got this amazing award that we're going to talk about in just a minute, and I really want to kick it off with some time-sensitive stuff. So we've got Rupert Murdoch, who has swooped in and acquired Realtor.com, right?
Right.
And Move Inc. I mean, that's a huge acquisition.
That's a big, bold play.
And then he puts David O'Hare, the former GM or something or other of Madison Square Garden and a number of other pretty incredible properties, at the helm. And then we hear that, and this is just in the last couple of weeks, a week or two, I think even, that now List Hub, which is part of the Move Inc. family, is now going to withdraw the feed that they've been giving to Zillow. And I think you said how many days? 88
Well, it
days?
was 90 days. They had a 90-day deal moving forward, and we're counting down. And I think it's coming up sometime in late March, early April is when that ends. I think it's is it April? I think it's the end of April is when that, if memory serves me, is when that contract ends.
What is the speculation as to what's going to happen to Zillow and Trulia? I mean, you think Trulia is going to back out of their Zillow acquisition?
I don't. I think Zillow, the Kurt Beardsleys will go out and really start to come to the MLSs and try to get deals with the MLSs to get the direct feeds. And you know, the genie's out of the bottle. We can't stuff that back in. So we have to understand that Zillow is not our enemy as realtors. They have made us better at what we do. They have in Houston anyway.
They've forced us to get
They have, you know, and we took that and we said, okay, how can we do that better? Because after all, we are the source of all that information they use, right?
Absolutely.
So, but they're not our enemies. They are our allies in this business. They are trying. You know, everybody thinks Zillow is a real estate company. They're not. They sell advertising, guys. That's all their job is. They are a media company. And once you understand that they're just a media company and not a real estate company, then you can deal with them logically and without emotions, right? So,
well said, Danny.
That's a big thing.
That's probably one of the best ways I've heard it articulated, that they are a media company. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it excruciatingly well, much to the grin of the industry. Yeah. It's like if you don't transform or change, then that's what happens, right?
Right.
I think the industry really just sat back and watched it happen and then went, wait a minute, what happened?
Right. You know, so Kelly, if you look at the big picture of things and where the real estate market's going, you know, you gotta have leads first and foremost to meet or exceed any goals, right?
Right.
And where do you get those leads from? Well, you can build your own website and do Google AdWords, or you know, hope that your SEO rises up high enough to get you enough business, or you can go to companies like Realtor.com or like Zillow or Trulia or Homes Media, and you can buy those leads. You know, but you got to have the leads, and either you do things like we're doing here. We're out there. We're social. We talk. We network. We do those things to really grow our business, and we got to do that through lead generation. And Zillow, Trulia, all those different companies are just lead generation websites, in my opinion. So you got to have enough leads to meet or exceed your goals, just first and foremost, to go anywhere in this business.
Absolutely. Well said. Okay, now time for the big segue. I want to congratulate you for winning the 2015 Houston Association of Realtors Realtor of the Year Award.
That was a big deal for me.
That's huge. Out of 30,000 agents?
You know, it's one of those things, Kelly, that you really, I didn't put on my to-do list to become Realtor of the Year. You know, that's just something you really strive to do. I did things I do every day, and HAR has some pretty strict guidelines of the criteria that people have to meet. And you know, I didn't go check that off that list, check that off that list. I didn't do that. I just did everything I do every day, is helping people make money in real estate. You know, and advocating for the realtor and doing the right thing, being ethical and being out there, being a part of the family. All of that stuff is what I just do, and I just love this new profession. You know, I've only been a realtor since 2004. So I'm really a baby agent if you think about it. But you know, when you're coming in and you know, I took over this Coldwell Banker position October of 2013, and as vice president of sales and broker manager at an office, and man, what an opportunity for me and to be brand new into this industry and to really understand the dynamics of what happens. And you know, I think, Kelly, looking at all the stuff that happened in 2013 and 14 for me, become Realtor of the Year was really kind of a dynamic thing, because I kind of look at things a little bit differently than most realtors. You know, they've been doing it that way forever. I'd come in and I said, well, why do you do it that way? You know, it doesn't make sense, you know. And I came in and operated my business as a business, not as a hobby, as a lot of realtors do. And you know, I carried a P&L sheet, I carried a balance sheet, I tracked expenses, I did everything like you do in a business. And if we could teach more people to do that and say, man, this is a great business, maybe they'd understand what they're doing and can make more money and track their dollars where their advertising goes. And that's what this is really all about. And that's hopefully what we can do, you and I, talking to all these different people, tell them to run it like a business, guys.
Absolutely. When it all is said and done, realtors are basically entrepreneurs. If they're new agents, they're startups. And if they're not looking at those P&L sheets and the balance sheets, then they don't know where they're sailing.
No, they don't. Not at all. I kind of moved myself down a little bit here.
Okay. So, and I think I need to do the same. I don't know what happens. Do we shrink over time?
Yeah, we're getting comfortable in our chairs and settling down a little bit.
So I also wanted to ask you now, HAR has such a different, they really have a different kind of approach to so many things that they do and are innovative from the standpoint. I mean, there's only like one other company I think of when I think of, or one other MLS/association that I really think of when I think of innovation and really kind of trying to stay ahead of the curve, and that's CMLS. And I know that there are some others that are changing that landscape as well. But with over 900 associations and MLSs nationwide, it's a difficult process to get us unified as an industry. What kinds of things do you think HAR can do or is doing for the industry to kind of set a precedent and help the others along a bit?
Well, you know, Kelly, I think one thing that HAR has different than anybody else is Bob Hale. All right, he is the industry standard of what needs to be running an MLS. He has the vision, he has the wherewithal to hire the right people and to bring in the leaders. You know, so there's lots of different opportunities for all the people in and around HAR. But what we do differently is that we don't sit back and wait to see what the industry is going to do. We set the standard. We put that bar up there, and we're putting our nose over that bar to see what's over there. And we're going to do the things that we have to do to make our members profitable. And that's the biggest thing that all of the other associations across the country don't understand, is that we're not here to take over your MLS. We invite people. We probably have, I don't know, 10 or 12 visitors a month come to HAR and spend time and try to learn what we do. And we welcome that. We invite any CEO or any chairman of the board or president to come to HAR and see how we do things. We'd love to show you. We want to teach you how to do it.
That's
because
wonderful.
If we can teach you how to do that, it kind of keeps keeps Zillow and Trillia out of your back pocket, right? And that's, being a media company, that's not a bad thing. But do you want to pay for the leads or do you want them for free? That's a pretty simple thing. You know, already paying your HAR dues or your MLS dues. Why not let your MLS help generate those leads for you?
You know, from a forward-looking perspective, and in my recent experiences with this transition from Hawaii to San Francisco, I noticed some really troubling things that I wouldn't have noticed had I not gone through this process. And a couple of them were that, you know, everybody and his mother has these websites with search functions. You know,
Right.
I can go to anybody's website, really, and search for property.
Mm-hmm.
And so there, that really seems like the least well-defined differentiator that exists on the planet.
Right.
And in fact, I don't think anybody's doing it as well as, you know, the big organizations like yourself and the ZTRs of this world. So what kinds of recommendations do you have to agents and brokers who are really looking to help the consumer? Because when you're looking at a community and you're looking to move into a community, I mean, looking at a city like San Francisco, I'm thinking, oh my God, we've got all these tech-savvy people here.
Yeah.
They're catering to a tech-savvy community, and they're going to have information everywhere on the internet that you need about anything. I'm not going to have to worry about anything.
You
And I'll
know,
tell you what, the best resource that I had was forums.
yeah,
Forums. Now,
right.
forums were popular, what, in the 90s,
Yeah,
80s?
yeah,
I was getting the best information about the communities that I was looking at getting involved in within the forums, and it was really disturbing to me and disappointing
right.
that there wasn't more of a, I guess, a community-faced, a microscopic, in-depth look from an agent's perspective who knows these communities best at what's happening in the actual community.
You know, you touched on something that HAR does extremely well, and that we have a complete video crew at HAR, and we go out and we shoot videos and we put all the community information about the different communities. You have to understand, Houston geographically is the largest geographical city in the United States, from city limit to city limits, north, south, east, and west. Where I live down south towards the coast, down towards Galveston, I live just outside the city limits of Houston, but to drive to the north side of Houston up to the Woodlands, which is just outside of, as far as I am south as it is north, it's an hour and a half drive. And you're in the city of Houston
Wow.
city limits the whole time. We have 3 loops, that go all around Houston, and it's just a huge city. I was at in an event the other day in Harris County, where Houston is. If you were to take all the people in Harris County, including Houston, it'd be the 5th largest state in the country.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's huge. And,
That's huge.
and so there's so many people. There's more people living in the unincorporated areas of Harris County than live in the city of Houston. And Dr. Ted Jones, the chief economist for Stewart Title, was at a conference of his last year, and he said by the year, I think 2025, Houston would double in size. So that's going to be huge.
So those agents and brokers out there better get out there and help you document what's happening in their communities, in their backyards, in their neighborhoods.
That's right. It's coming. Hold on. Get your piece of the pie now.
Absolutely. So what's your prediction in the next 10 years for the landscape of MLSs and associations nationwide? Do you think we're still going to be at 900, or can we get this down to a more manageable number?
Well, look at it this way. The House of Representatives is like, 432 members, I believe, for the United States House of Representatives, and NAR's board of directors almost 800. There's a little disconnect there, in my opinion, right?
Right.
Well
said.
with a group of so many people with diverse interests, how can you do anything productive? I think the board of directors needs to be cut in half. I think MLSs need to be cut in half. NAR is really, I think, stepping up and trying to move that forward, Kelly, with the fact that with the initiative they're doing last year, moving forward this year, of bringing everybody into compliance with doing different things the proper way. And, I think these smaller MLSs, they may not like what I'm going to say, but I think they need to combine. If you're under 300 people, you don't need to be an MLS. I think, unfortunately, the times are changing. The real estate books are gone away. We have laptops, we have iPads, we have phones. We don't need the small 150, 75, 100 people MLSs. We got to start combining those and becoming a better force all as one. Because if we all came together as MLSs across the country, we could literally take all of our data back from the ZTR group and control what we do with that. Right now, we're all individual MLSs. We're all fighting our own little battles. If we would come together and cooperate with one another, and not big broker, small broker, we can't have all the dysfunction. We got to have disruption, and we got to disrupt everything because it's different than the way it used to be. But we got to come together as an organization to stand together as one and really stand up for what we can give the consumer as a whole and not as a separate 900 MLSs.
Well said, and I completely agree with you. I'd like to even squeeze those numbers down a little bit more, but I think that yours are much more realistic than mine are.
Right. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Kelly, it's all about doing what's best for the consumer. And
Yep.
we try to do that in Houston every day. And these other MLSs, sure, they have employees, they have people that work there, and it's a money-making organization for them. But is it really best for the consumer? Some of these smaller MLSs, we have some around us. Galveston is just south of us, and 90% of their members are also a member of our MLS, and almost 100% of their listings are on HAR.com. So why is there a separate little MLS with 100 people in it?
Job security.
Makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
You go just east of Houston and Beaumont, Port Arthur, Groves. There's like 10 little MLSs that all have 50 to 75 people in them. It makes no sense to me. Become one, join forces, and become stronger.
Absolutely. You can't operate as an island.
You can't.
No.
It needs to be done as a whole. And join forces with a company like HAR.com. Man, how powerful would that be if we got more people joining us? That was my whole vision about starting up the statewide thing with the consumer portal. It wasn't about taking over anybody's MLS. We don't want that.
Yep.
We don't want their associations. We want to sell real estate. We want to make the agents profitable. And we can't do that, with everybody, with their little kingdoms that are everywhere.
I would start laughing, but I'm going to start coughing if I do that.
Okay.
So I just want you to know that I really wanted to let out a big belly laugh because that was very eloquent. Well, Danny, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I'm so happy for your well-deserved award, Houston Association of Realtors 2015 Realtor of the Year Award. Do you have it there?
Yeah, here, I'll bring it in here and see if it'll
That is awesome.
It's just, I was sleeping with it for the first 3 days, and I did kind of took it everywhere. What an honor this really was to be just recognized to become Realtor of the Year. And this was the coup d'etat. It was really a great honor for me because it wasn't really for me because it was all about the members. So that's really that award really went to all the members in Houston.
And the man who kind of helped a lot of things come together, not kind of helped, you helped a lot of things come together. You've been at the helm, chairman of the board and things like that, and you're doing the right thing in your business, you're doing the right thing from a philosophical standpoint in working with your agents and your teams and the brokers out there. You're just doing a really, really great job all the way around. So I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you'll come back and join us again.
Anytime. I'm always available for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Danny. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and that's a wrap. To my caffeinators out there, thanks for keeping the stream rolling. Remember, we're now airing every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're in the chat at exactly the top of those hours. Use #AgentCAF to participate, and you'll be able to have a chance to converse with people like Danny Frank. So please make sure and join us. And I'm Kelly Mitchell for Agent Caffeine, signing off. You take care.